Hey guys, it has been so long since I have made a video for my YouTube channel. I've just been busy with life and been prioritizing other things over my YouTube channel. But in today's video, I have a what sold video for you guys for 1 week of sales. Usually in my what sold videos, I go through a couple weeks of sales and I highlight certain sales that I want to share. But it's been a while since I've just gone through 1 week of sales and gone through every single sale that sold, the good and the bad, the high and the low. So that's what we're going to do in today's video. We'll be going through sales from July 13th to July 19th. I have sales on Poshmark and eBay, of course, and then I have one on Mercari. So let's dive in.
All right, guys, we're going to start off with Mercari for this particular week. I have no Depop sales, but sales on Depop have been like they usually are, a few sprinkled in here and there throughout the week, if any at all. But for this particular week, it just happened where I made no Depop sales. So we'll start off with Mercari, where I made one, then move on to Poshmark, and we'll end with eBay. eBay has been beating all of my other platforms by a landslide in terms of sales and amount of money that I make. Ever since my YouTube video I made about 2 months ago, where I talked about how I hated eBay in my I hate eBay video, I got a comment from someone saying that they had a store subscription that was like one higher than mine. So I decided to invest in a more expensive store subscription for eBay. And it was definitely well worth it because I think I get 10,000 listings now a month. And so I've been constantly ending listings, clicking sell similar, and that has been flushing stuff in and out of my eBay store, which makes me appear active on eBay, which is getting me lots of sales. But not only that, I have been starting my listings on eBay. So I used to always start my listings on Poshmark. My entire reselling career, I would start my listings on Poshmark and then I would import them into my cross-listing service, whichever one I was using at the time. And then I would cross-list it to eBay, Mercari, Depop, and then later on Vinted and stuff. But now I'm starting off on eBay and it has been so great. I feel like that has been helping me make more sales for some reason, even though I'm listing the same amount of new listings. Maybe it's just how like the algorithm works when you cross-list into eBay rather than just like directly listing in eBay. But needless to say, eBay has been popping off for me. Super happy about that. So this one Mercari sale is this pair of Dansko milled nubuck black leather cute adjustable Sarah wedge sandals, size 9.5. In my description, I put the keywords summer, cute, casual, going out and comfy. I also got this paragraph from somewhere. I often take a description from a different website that is selling the same item that I want to sell because it just gives potential buyers more information. I paid $5 for these. I'm not sure at what thrift store, but $5 was on my Google Docs sheet or Google Sheets sheet, and they sold for an offer of $27.69. And so that makes my profit around $22.59. I have said this before, but I always get reasonable offers on Mercari. For some reason, the customer base on Mercari is full of customers and buyers that like to send reasonable offers. So I'm totally okay with that. These did take 127 days to sell, which is relatively a while. It is past that 90-day mark. But Dansko is a great brand. I love selling Dansko shoes. I find them fairly often. Sometimes they sell quicker than others, but happy for this sale. Would pick these up again. I'm not going to pass up a pair of Danskos at the thrift store that are in good condition because it's a really great bread and butter shoe brand that they usually sell between $25 and $40 for me. Moving on to Poshmark, I sold this pair of Ariat, not sure how you say that, black rebar casual work grunge perfect rise straight jeans, size 22 WL. So wide, I believe that means, and long. I put my style tags durable, versatile, and everyday. I did get these when I was at an Uptown Cheapskate, which is a consignment store, their semi-annual sale where everything was 80% off. Well, everything that was stamped. And I did spend some time in the men's section at the first Uptown Cheapskate that I went to. And I did find 2 pairs of Ariat jeans. But when I got these home, I noticed that the crotch had like this whitening I think I even washed them and the whitening didn't come out. So I think it was just like from being worn down maybe in the crotch area. Like it didn't feel worn down, but I did mention that. But nonetheless, I paid $5 for these. Well, $5.20 because since it wasn't an actual thrift store that I bought these from, there was tax. And they sold for $22, which I believe was an offer that I accepted. I had them listed for $30, and when I got that $22 offer, I was like sold because of that flaw. That makes my profit $12.40, and these only took 11 days to sell. So really, really quickly, I think that Ariat men's jeans are a really good Bolo bread and butter brand. Next item that I sold is kind of an oopsie on my part because I didn't realize that this purse smelled. I got a message from the buyer saying that the inside smelled like cigarette, and I just like thought it like had like, you know, kind of a vintage smell, but maybe I just didn't smell it directly enough. But this is a vintage Fleur Le Bourse brown leather snake print Italian medium size purse bag. In my description, I put the keywords feminine, sexy, quality, going out, unique, and clubbing. I paid $5 for this purse. It sold for an offer of $18, which is kind of low, but my profit is $9.60. And this did take 60 days to sell, so not too bad. Other than the smell that apparently was there, I trust the buyer. This was an impeccable condition. It was from a brand I didn't recognize, Fleur Le Bourse, but it did say genuine leather, which is often a sign of quality, and people will pay for genuine leather purses often, no matter what the brand. $5 is a little high to pay for a unbranded leather purse, but this was also made in Italy. The buyer was really nice, though. She said she still gave me a 5-star review because my description was accurate and because of my fast shipping, but I do want to send her a refund. I just couldn't find a button to, so I did reach out to Poshmark in hopes that I can send her a refund because she was so nice about there being a smell. And yeah, let's move on to another sale on Poshmark, which is another pair of Ariat jeans. The other pair of Ariat jeans that I got from Uptown Cheapskate that day. These only sold for $20, but they sold very quickly, and I wanted to keep sales moving. So this is a pair of Ariat men's light wash, stretch casual, slim fit, straight leg jeans, size 30 by 32. In my description, I put the keywords cowboy, everyday, neutral, USA, outdoor, and versatile. I paid $4.50 for these jeans. Not sure why they were priced differently than the other Ariat jeans, especially when the other Ariat jeans had the flaw. But a lot of the stuff that I bought had that Uptown Cheapskate haul from both of the stores had flaws that like I didn't realize till I got home. So I don't think that they're very good at checking for flaws, at least at those two consignment shops. And this sold for $20, which was an offer that I accepted. I wanted to keep sales moving, like I said, making my profit $11.50, and this only took 8 days. So the other pair of Ariat jeans sold for 11. These sold for 8. So really quick turnaround time, nice return on investment. I never find men's Ariat jeans, probably because they are a bolo. I find women's Ariat jeans more often, but they do sell less quickly. All right, since we are going through every sale, this is a little different. You're going to see some lower dollar sales than I usually feature, but I really did want to, show what actually sells within 1 week time frame. And I didn't want to make like a super long video trying to show off every good sale that I had within, a couple of weeks since my last What Sold video. This is a SpongeBob Happy Character Wilton Silver Baking Cake Pan size medium size, excuse me. In my description, I put the keywords nostalgia, childhood, kid core, birthday party, cake decorating, collector's item, funny, and mold. This did have some spots of discoloration, but I don't think there were any dents or anything. And it doesn't really matter if a cake pan has like discoloration on it because you're just using it to, make a cake and make the shape of a cake that you want. So it didn't matter that much. I paid $1 for this at the Goodwill outlet and it sold for $12. I think I had it listed for $15 and not sure my exact profit. I could not find this item on my Google cheat sheet. But I do know that it took a while to sell. I have a few other Wilton cake pans of different characters and shapes that I've gotten at the bins, and they don't sell for a lot, but like I couldn't resist getting them. I couldn't resist not getting them at the Goodwill outlet. Next item to sell is a very, very, very old sale that I've had this forever, this pair of shoes. This is a pair of R2 women's gray suede mid-heel ankle sock top boots, size 9.5. In my description, you can tell this is an older listing because I just have like a list of everything about the shoes. So I put soft, versatile, cute, youthful and contemporary, perfect for fall, autumn, and winter. I did not know anything about this brand, which is R2. And I don't think I could find anything on Google about it, although I think I recently looked up this brand R2 and I was able to find it. I think it's a brand that's not sold anymore, but I paid $4 for these at the Goodwill outlet. They sold for $10. I think I originally had these listed for over $20. Ended up lowering the price to $15. Someone offered me $10 and I said, take them because I've had them forever. Not sure my exact profit or how long these took to sell because they're such an old listing. They're not even on my updated Google sheet. Google Sheets sheet. So yeah, $4 into $10. Did make my money back, but will not be picking up that brand in the future. I don't think R2 retails for a ton. And they weren't necessarily a unique, cute style. Next item to sell were these Solomon Gray Blue Men's XA Pro 3D Ultra 2 outdoor running sneakers, size 9.5. In my description, I put the keywords hiking, camping, versatile, travel, and grunge. I paid $5 for these shoes. They sold for $42, making my profit $28.60. These did take 78 days to sell. Originally, I listed these as women's, and then actually someone on Depop said, just confirming that these are women's shoes, and then I did go back, take a look at these shoes, compared the size conversion from like EU and UK, and I was like, okay, these are actually men's sneakers. So glad I noticed that. But yeah, Solomon is a great men's shoe brand. And women's shoe brand. It's just a great footwear brand in general, and I've had really good luck with it. So I would definitely pick these shoes up again. We have another kind of disappointing lower dollar sale. This is a Ros and Ali blue-brown chiffon whimsy goth fairy grunge 90s Y2K maxi skirt, size M, standing for medium. In my description, I put the keywords vintage, cottagecore, elastic waist, leaves, floral, unique, and boho. I wasn't 100% sure if this was actually vintage. I don't think it was, but kind of had like a vintage look to it. Now, I don't know why I have a heart on it. I don't know why I've liked my own item. The funny story about this skirt was back when I like first listed it, a little while later, me and my family went out to dinner at a Black Bear Diner, which is a restaurant, and we were just sitting down waiting for our food. I remember our food taking particularly long this day, and I saw a woman wearing this skirt, and I was like, oh my goodness, I have that in the inventory. I paid $6 for this. It sold for $15. I had it listed for $25, but I did accept that offer. That makes my profit $6. This did take 316 days to sell, so quite a while. The reason I got this skirt was because it was maxi length, it was chiffon, and for a while I was doing really well selling maxi length, whimsy goth, kind of fairy grunge maxi skirts. But this one, I think the colorway as well as the style just didn't hit with people. But anyway, just happy to have this gone. One more sale on Poshmark. We have this non-clothing item, kind of exciting. This is a Chicago Bears brown, blue, orange pillow pet jersey NFL stuffed animal football. In my description, I put the keywords sports, sporty, collectible, and merch. I paid $2 for this at the thrift store. I actually remember specifically when I bought this because there was like candy on the eye into the nose, and I just ran it through the wash and it was fine. Sold for $20, making my profit $14, and this took 56 days to sell, which is quick in my opinion. I like to look in the stuffed animals section at the thrift store just in case, there's hidden gems in there. I've never found a jelly cat. I think that's what they're called. I've never found like that brand, but I have found a few Build-A-Bear brands that have sold well. And the reason I looked this one up was because it was a pillow pet and it was sports themed. And, sometimes stuff that's sports themed can do well. And I know that like pillow pets are not super expensive, but, I would consider them not just, easy cash flow. But I actually looked up comms for this specific Chicago Bears pillow pet on eBay, and sell-through rate wasn't too bad, and they were selling for around $20 to $25. So that's exactly how much mine sold for. I would definitely do that again. Let's move on now to eBay. First sale on eBay is another lower dollar sale. We're going through all the sales, so not highlighting specific sales. So fully transparent, but it is, nice to just go through 1 week of sales. This is a Kathy Lee burgundy floral whimsical boho cottagecore long maxi dress size 16. In my description, I put the keywords sheath dress, oasis, gypsy garden, side tie, side zip, and burnt orange. I bought this dress back when I was a new reseller, and I was picking up a bunch of vintage dresses like in all different styles for some reason. I don't know why I picked this one up. It was a maxi length and it did have like a cute little faux wrap side tie here, but I would not pick this up today. I paid $6 for it. It sold for $15, making my profit $5.40. And this took 440 days. So happy to have that gone. And you can see by the background of that, but this wasn't even in my reseller room. I took this in our living room before I even had access to my reseller room because we were renting out our basement. So it has been a while since that has been originally listed. This next sale is a vintage Rats, that's the brand, red fleece, zip-up hooded, warm outdoor jumpsuit bodysuit size 6 to 12 months. In my description, I put the keywords travel, cozy, adorable, cute, neutral, 90s, teddy bear, cuddly, and made in USA. I said the red color was more dark in person. Sometimes my camera has a hard time capturing pinks, reds, oranges, and also blacks. I paid $2 for this at the Goodwill outlet. In actuality, it was probably like $1, but I probably took a few losses this day. It sold for $7, making my profit $3.32, and this took 240 days to sell. I do like to sell kids' clothes in modern brands and vintage brands, so, cool little experiment here. Low cost of goods. Would probably do that again. I like picking up like kind of niche vintage kids clothing pieces from the Goodwill outlet. This next sale I probably could have gotten more money for, but it was a very, very quick sale. And so I was happy with that. And I wanted to keep sales moving. This is a Mave Anthropology green corduroy belted suspenders pinafore midi skirt size 14. In my description, I put the keywords neutral, casual, preppy, college, teacher, and sophisticated. I paid $8 for this at the Uptown Cheapskate when I, had that big thing. I think my last video on my channel was an Uptown Cheapskate haul. Paid $8, like I said. It sold for $28, making my profit $13.28, and this took 1 day to sell. It sold overnight. So listed it 1 day, and then when I woke up in the morning, sometime I got an offer. Next sale is this Lily Pulitzer kind of looking vibe, or Lily Pulitzer looking blouse. This is a Talbitz pink white lace 3/4 sleeve lightweight summer girly blouse size 1X. I only like to pick up Talbot's in plus size. This was a smaller plus size, but I still am happy that I got it. I put breathable, spring, bright, pop of color, Lily Pulitzer vibes, vacation, Hawaii, and boho as my key words. I paid $4 for this blouse. It sold for $16, making my profit $8.16, and this took 138 days to sell. In the future, I would like to get more around $20 for that, or even $18, but I'm okay with that. I remember this particular day, that particular thrift trip where I got that Talbot's blouse. I also got a few other Talbot's size extra large and 1X tops, so I kind of got like a whole lot. This next sale is a vintage 1985 Xavier Roberts Colico African American Black Cabbage Patch Kid. In my description, I put the keywords 80s collectible, nostalgia, cute, childhood, and kidcore. I said that there were some marks on the face, which is true, but the body of the Cabbage Patch doll was clean. I remember spotting this at the thrift store, and I actually think this was in a Thrift With Me video. And the doll was wearing this disgusting white, yellowing stained dress. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to sell her naked. I actually even have a close-up of the booty because that's where like this Xavier signature was. I don't know who that is, but I was like, I'm just going to sell her naked. And I thought that she would sell better than perhaps like a white Cabbage Patch doll because I feel like black Cabbage Patch dolls are maybe more rare. But she did sell. This is my second ever Cabbage Patch doll to sell. Paid $3 for this. It sold for $21, making my profit $12.96. And this did take 127 days to sell. I would pick this up again because it was low cost of goods, and I do like selling non-clothing items because, it's fun to kind of branch out a little bit. Next sale was completely style-based, but I knew that it would sell. This is an Indigo Soul cream green peacock rhinestone artsy long sleeve shirt size 2XL. In my description, I put the keywords. Oh, did I not put any keywords? Oh, okay. I didn't put it in my description, but I put it in the theme section. So I put sparkle, wearable art, artwear, party unique, boho, bohemian, and glam. I paid $4 for this blouse. Probably wouldn't pay much more for a style-based pickup. Sold for $19, which was an offer that I accepted, I believe. Or maybe I sent that out. My profit is $10.44, and it took 23 days to sell. The reason I bought this blouse was for a couple of reasons. First of all, it was a size 2XL. Second of all, it had a ton of rhinestones all along the chest area and a really fun peacock print. So I knew it would sell. And sold really quickly, like I said, in 23 days. Would definitely pick that up again. I want to keep an eye out for tops like that, like the Goodwill outlet especially, because cost of goods is so low. So I could have made a few more extra dollars on this shirt had I picked it up at the Goodwill outlet. Next item is this Nick plus Zoe olive green button-up exposed seam stretch minimalist jacket size 2X. In my description, I put the keywords classic layering, closet staple, capsule wardrobe, casual going out, business casual, lightweight, and contemporary. I remember finding this at the thrift store and seeing that it was new with tags and that it was a size 2X. I was elated, and then seeing that it was only $6 was the icing on the cake. Sold for $40. Actually, I got a message from the person who was interested in this, and it was on the ended listing. So I had clicked end listing and sell similar, and she messaged me saying, hey, is this sold? And I said, no, I actually just need to essentially relist it. So I did, listed it again at $45, accepted a $40 offer, making my profit $24.40. And this did sell in 56 days. So relatively quickly. I do like to sell Nick plus Zoe. It sells better in their plus sizes. And of course, new with tags is going to be even better. Next sale is another really quick sale. I have been selling Torrid dresses really well lately. This is a Torrid gold at the knee glitter Lurex glam going out surplus tiered dress size 2X. I put the keywords holiday party, New Year's event, and feminine, and then all this little paragraph I got directly from Torrid's website, as well as that stock photo. This was new with tags, and this was also from my Uptown Cheapskate trips. I paid $4.50 for this. It sold for $26, making my profit $15.26, and this only took 4 days to sell. Really pretty dress, and definitely helped that it was new with tags. I think it retailed for like $75 or something. This next item is another dress to sell. This is a purple one-shoulder ruff. Oh, I meant to put ruffle, but it says ruff. Bodycon semi-formal side slit midi dress size extra small. In my description, I put the keywords prom, homecoming, feminine, flattering, shaping, sexy, wedding guest, and side zip. There were no tags on this dress, but I said that the dress measured at around a size extra small to small. And of course, I always include measurements because I don't want to get returns and I want to make my buyers happy. And it's worth the extra time putting in. So I paid $2 for this dress at the Goodwill outlet. It sold for $16, making my profit $10.16. This did take 288 days, though, to sell, probably because it was unbranded and also because it was a smaller size, and that was an estimate size, so makes sense. Another bonus to starting my listings on eBay is that I've been able to actually see the SKU number, because before I wouldn't put the SKU number in the custom SKU in the item specifics on eBay, but I've started doing that since I've started my listings on eBay, and it has been a game changer because I don't have to click a few times to find out which box my sold item is in. This next item is also a super quick sale and also from the Uptown Cheapskate Trips. This is an Albion Black Going Places elastic waist, knee length cap, blazer dress size medium tall. In my description, I put the keywords outdoor, athletic, active, travel, and sporty. I think that because it was a tall size, it definitely helped it sell because taller women definitely have a hard time finding dresses to the length that they want. I only paid $3.30 for this dress. They only had it marked at like $15, and then with 80% off and tax, that's how much it was. I was really surprised too because Albion, is similar to like Free People Active in their retail price. They sold for $25, which was an offer I accepted, and that makes my profit $15.70. This took 3 days to sell. I looked everywhere for a stock photo, and the only stock photo I could find was this kind of pixelated one, but I do think it helped the item to sell because my photos were definitely not that good. It was hard to show the shape of the dress. Next item, so many eBay sales, which is exciting. We have this Pendleton Burgundy 100% virgin wool button-up elbow patches trail shirt size large. In my description, I put the keywords casual, quality, thick, warm, outdoor, handsome, neutral, travel. I also put that it was long sleeve. I have a few Pendleton pieces in my store that aren't selling and they are made of wool, but I think this was like a specific piece in Pendleton that sells well and it was 100% virgin wool. Like I said, paid $3 at the Goodwill outlet. It sold for $30, making my profit $19.80, and this took 44 days to sell. I think that swimsuits and shorts and like mini skirts are really slowing down on sales. Next item is a pair of Franco Sto Heels. I don't usually pick up this brand, but these were in excellent condition, and I thought the style was really versatile and contemporary, and that I knew that they would sell. I didn't realize how fast they would sell, though. This is a pair of Franco Sto nude leather feminine classic Cicero high heel pumps, size 8 medium. In my description, I put the keywords neutral, business casual, office work, career, and going out. These were also a smaller, actually no, they weren't a smaller size. For some reason I thought they were a size 6, but they are a size 8. I paid $5 for these. They sold for $28, which I believe I had them listed at $28. Actually, that was my full asking price, yeah. Making my profit $16.28, and these took 31 days to sell. Next item. I actually shipped out this item today because it sold I think it sold on Saturday, I think it sold on Saturday. And so I just shipped it out today for all my weekend sales going out. But this is a Banana Republic purple pont knit sheath ruffle bell sleeve knee length dress size 6. In my description, I put the keywords feminine, modest, classic, business casual, dainty, cute, 3/4 sleeve, going out, and cocktail party. I got this cool stock photo. It made the dress look a little bit lighter purple, but I did want to include it because it really did show off what the dress looked like. I was hesitant to pick this up from the thrift store because New with Tags Banana Republic hasn't done well for me. It hasn't added the value that I thought it would over a non-New with Tags Banana Republic dress. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this out. I have a good feeling about it. And it's purple, which is kind of a trendy color. Definitely a lot of people's favorite color and desired color to wear. Paid $8, sold for $26, which was an offer that I think I accepted. And that makes my profit $11.76, and it took 58 days to sell. So relatively quickly, I remember picking this up. I believe I thrifted this at a thrift store in Idaho. I do promote all my listings at 9%, so my fees are a little bit more than 20% overall, I believe, on eBay, but it is definitely worth it for the extra sales that I get, right? 2 more sales before the end of this What Sold video. We have this pair of Madewell green straight leg high rise casual stretch grunge ollie pants size 29. In my description, I put the keywords trendy school, cute, neutral, closet staple, and everyday, and then this few sentences is directly from Madewell's website. I paid $7 for these. They sold for $24, which was just really surprising because I had a watcher and then I offered them $19 because I've had these forever. And then they must have bought them for $24 or someone else must have swooped in and bought them. But that makes my profit $11.24. These did take 213 days to sell. I've definitely slowed down a lot on picking up Madewell jeans and pants. When I did my Uptown Cheapskate thrift trips recently, I did pick up a lot of Madewell, but they weren't just basic denim pants. But when it comes to Madewell at the thrift stores, I'm really avoiding like just basic denim pants. These were green, so they did add a little bit of desirability and difference to those others, but I'm still trying to be picky with Madewell. Last sale on eBay is this Chicos white blue modal cotton beachy coastal 3/4 sleeve ultimate t-shirt size 2XL. Or I didn't even include the word size, I just put 2XL. In my description, I put the keywords lightweight, breathable, resort wear, casual, closet staple, and wardrobe basic. I paid $3 for this blouse or t-shirt. It sold for $17.50, which was an offer I accepted. I would have liked to get a little bit more, especially because of the size and the fact that it was kind of beachy and it was a modal blend. But I did accept that, making my profit $10.30. And this only took 29 days to sell. I feel like I just thrifted this the other day. So I love when that happens, when I feel like I just thrifted something and it sells right away. But yeah, those are all my sales for the 13th through the 19th.
That's it for this what sold video. I promise I'm going to start putting out more videos soon again. I have a K-Brands video coming up, and then I have a Ship With Me video coming up, and I do want to do a part 2 to my Uptown Cheapskate haul. I've already started listing some of that part 2 haul clothing stuff, but I still have a ton left that I can show you guys in a haul. So watch out for those videos, and please like and subscribe to this video if you like my videos, or if this is your first video of mine that you're seeing. I would really appreciate the support. If you wanted to comment like a yellow heart emoji, I was thinking about this. I was like, what's my favorite emoji? The yellow heart emoji is most definitely my favorite. So comment that if you want to, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.